Welcome to Binge Eating Reset. You're now on step 16. In the previous videos, you've learned that the urge to eat is often connected to tension, restlessness, stress, and feeling emotionally overwhelmed. But today we're going to go a little bit deeper. Because sometimes it isn't really about food at all. Sometimes your brain is actually looking for safety, comfort, relief, a sense of calm, a place where you can finally settle down for a moment. And food can feel like that place. Maybe you recognize that feeling. You finally get home after a long day, and almost automatically want to grab something to eat. Not because your stomach is empty, but because you feel empty, tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, almost as if your body is saying, I can't do this anymore. And food can feel like a warm blanket, a moment where nothing is expected from you, a moment to escape from everything, a moment where you don't have to feel, a moment of peace in your mind. And the more often food has played that role, the stronger that connection becomes in your brain. Stress, food. Sadness, food. Restlessness, food. Feeling lonely, food. Feeling overwhelmed, food. Not because you're weak, but because your brain has learned, this helps me survive. And that's really important to understand. Because so many people stay angry with themselves. Why am I doing this again? Why don't I have more discipline? Why do I keep thinking about food? But very often your brain isn't actually focused on food itself. Very often your nervous system is simply trying to regulate itself, trying to calm itself, trying to protect itself. And that's why being strict with yourself usually only works for a little while. Because if food has been your safest source of comfort for years, you can't just take that away overnight, without building something else in its place. It's a bit like taking away someone's life jacket in the middle of the ocean, before teaching them how to swim. So today we're going to do something different. We're not going to fight the urge to eat. We're not going to try to control ourselves. We're not going to become harder on ourselves. Instead, we're going to create safety without food. And that may sound small, but psychologically it's incredibly important. Because your brain slowly needs to experience, I can feel safe without food too. And that's why today we're going to practice the safe place exercise. It's not complicated, it's not strange, and it's not something you need to do perfectly. It's actually very simple, because safety is often found in small signals that repeat themselves. Things that your body recognizes as comfort. For example, a favorite chair, a specific place on the couch, a warm blanket, a cup of tea, soft music, dimmer lighting, a candle, a warm sweater, maybe even silence, or the sound of rain in the background. This isn't about perfection. It's about the feeling. I can relax here. This is a place where I can land for a moment. So choose a place intentionally. And before you reach for food, sit there first. Even if it's only for 5 minutes. Put your phone away. Don't scroll. Don't multitask. Just be there. And notice what happens next. Maybe you immediately feel restless. Maybe you still want to get up. Maybe your mind says, this is pointless. That's normal, because your brain has become used to quick relief. Quick distraction, quick ways to make uncomfortable feelings disappear. But now something different is happening. Now you're staying present, without immediately numbing yourself. And that is where change begins. Not because the urge to eat suddenly disappears, but because you're learning to stay with yourself, without automatically turning to food. And that is a huge difference. And during this exercise you might suddenly notice how tired you really are. How tense your body feels. How busy your mind feels. How many different stimuli and pressures you absorb throughout the day. Some people only discover during this exercise that they've been switched on for hours. Always busy, always alert, always pushing forward, always doing the next thing. And food had become the one moment where the nervous system finally had permission to relax. So no, you're not weak. Your body is trying to solve something. It's simply trying to solve it in a way that doesn't truly help you in the long run. And that's why we're building new ways. Safe moments, without food. Moments of rest, without guilt. Moments of recovery, without numbing yourself. And those moments don't have to be big. Not at all. Sometimes it's literally dimming the lights. Wrapping yourself in a blanket. Making a cup of tea. Taking a few slow breaths. Sitting down for a moment. That's it, nothing more. But when you practice this again and again, your brain slowly begins to learn something new. That comfort doesn't only come from food. That safety can be felt in other ways too. And that is how patterns slowly begin to change. Not in one perfect moment, but in hundreds of small moments where you practice something new. You may even notice that the urge to eat starts to soften a little as soon as your body feels safer. Because in reality, it was never only about food. It was about regulation. It was about calming yourself. It was about escaping tension and overwhelm. And do you know what's so important? Not judging yourself for that. Because so many people use food as a source of comfort, we just rarely talk about it openly. But your brain isn't doing random things. There's always a reason behind it. And the better you understand that reason, the less you have to spend all your energy fighting the behavior itself. Because understanding creates space. Space to learn something new. Space to become gentler with yourself. Space to practice different choices. So don't try to be perfect today. Just try to practice one small safe moment without food. And maybe that still feels small right now. But small experiences of safety can eventually create enormous change. This is part of Binge Eating Reset, a free step-by-step program designed to help you break free from emotional eating and binge eating. Do you really want to overcome this? Subscribe and follow the series from the beginning. Next step in the series. This helps when the urge to eat keeps coming back. Binge Eating Reset number 17.